Good morning, student. So today our topic is qualitative analysis. So what is qualitative analysis? So qualitative analysis is the tool to determine the given constituent of the given salt sample. You know that a salt contains one cation and one anion. Suppose if we take one example of very simple salt of NaCl, suppose, then it contains one cation Na plus and one anion Cl minus. Like that only, if we will be provided with any salt, we can determine by using such tools that the cation and anion present in the given salt sample can be determined using this tool, and this technique is called qualitative analysis. Now it is also called salt analysis. So the anions and the cations present in the given salt sample are classified based on the group reagent. What are the group reagent present and how it reacts with the given group reagent, and thus we can infer that what is the cation or anion present in the given salt sample. Like that, if we just discuss about the anions, they are also called acidic radicals. So based on their reaction with H2SO4, it is classified into three types. So suppose if it reacts with dilute H2SO4, then it is categorized in group 1, and the radicals may be present are carbonate, sulfide or nitrite. Next, if it reacts with concentrated H2SO4, if it does not react with dilute H2SO4, we will just treat the salt with concentrated H2SO4. And if it reacts with it, you know that there are some characteristics of a chemical reaction. So based on this, if it reacts, then the radicals may be present are Cl minus, Br minus, I minus, acetate ion, oxalate ion or nitrate ion. And if the given salt sample doesn't react with concentrated H2SO4 or dilute H2SO4, then the radical may be present as sulfate, phosphate or chlorate. Now student, this is about the anion part of the acidic radical. Now if we talk about the basic radical, what are the basic radical may be present and what are the group reagent we are taking? You can see here, I have written it here. If it reacts with dilute NaOH, then the radical may be present is NH4 plus and it is categorized as group 0. If it doesn't react with dilute NaOH, then we will go with other reagent like dilute HCl. If it reacts with dilute HCl, then the radical may be present is Pb2 plus and it is categorized as group 1. And if we doesn't react with NaOH or HCl, successively we will go in the next group reagent, we will treat it with the next group reagent like H2SO4 in presence of dilute HCl. If it reacts with it, then the radicals may be present are Cu2 plus, Cd2 plus or S3 plus, and it is categorized as group 2. And if it doesn't react with the above group reagent, then we will treat it with NH4OH in presence of NH4Cl. If reaction occurs, the radicals may be present are Fe3 plus or Al3 plus, and it is categorized as group 3. If it doesn't react with the above group reagent, then again what will we have to do? We have to treat the salt with the reagent H2S in presence of NH4OH and NH4Cl. If it reacts with it, then the radicals will be present are Zn2 plus, Mn2 plus, Ni2 plus and CO2 plus, Cobalt2 plus. And it is classified or categorized as group 4. If the given salt sample doesn't react with the above group reagent, then again we have to treat it with ammonium carbonate in presence of NH4OH and NH4Cl. If it reacts with it, the radicals may be present are Pa2 plus, Sr2 plus and Ca2 plus, and it is categorized as group 5. If the given salt sample doesn't react with all the above group reagent, then we have to treat it with disodium hydrogen phosphate in presence of NH4OH. If it reacts with it, then The radical may be present is Mg2 plus and it is categorized as group 6. So student, you see here by chemical treatment we can determine that what is the radical, that is cation and anion present in the given salt sample. Hope this part is clear to you. Now student, I am just adding what I have taught you, that what is qualitative analysis. On the previous session even I have discussed. Okay. So qualitative analysis or salt analysis is the tool by which we can determine the cation qualitative analysis or salt analysis is the tool to determine the cation and anion present in the given salt sample. So, if you are provided with a salt, so how will you determine that what are the cations and anions, and finally the salt that is given to you? So, at first there are some preliminary tests is to be done. Among them is the physical dry test. So, this is the preliminary test. How we can, what is the salt that we can determine, or we can just have a clue of the given salt. It is not a confirmatory test, but although we can know about the given salt sample. Suppose by seeing its color, what you would do, we have to take the salt in a white paper and observe the color. If it is white in color, it may be lead, cadmium, aluminum, zinc, chromium, strontium, barium, magnesium or ammonium salt. So, if it is white, the salt may be lead, cadmium, aluminum, zinc, chromium, strontium, barium, magnesium or ammonium. If the given salt sample is blue in color, it may be copper salt, copper sulfate it may be copper. If it is green in color, it may be nickel or it may be copper. If it is light green, it may be ferrous salt. If it is dark green, it may be chromium salt. And if it is pink, it may be manganese salt. Now student, in continuation with that, if you see, if we can perform some other physical test by just taking the smell, by getting the smell. You see here, if we will take the small amount of salt, we just put it on a watch glass and we will rub it and we will just get the smell of it. If it smells like ammonia, it may be ammonium salt. If it has a smell of rotten egg, it may be sulfide salt. If it smell is like that of vinegar, it may be acetate salt. So these are some of the preliminary tests which we can perform to determine whether that salt is what are the cation or anion present in the given salt sample, but that is not the confirmatory test. Okay student, in continuation with that, we will complete here about the preliminary test, that is the physical test. What we have to do, this is called dry heat test. We have to take the salt sample, dry salt sample in a test tube. We have to heat it strongly, and if there is evolution of colorless and odorless gas, then it may be carbonate salt. If there is evolution of colorless gas with pungent smell, then it is a sulfide salt. If some colorless gas with rotten egg smell is observed, then it may be sulfide. If there is some colorless gas with odor of ammonia, then it may be ammonium salt. If some colorless gas is evolved with odor of vinegar, it may be acetate salt. If reddish brown gas is evolved with pungent odor, then it may be nitrate or nitrite. If yellowish green gas is observed with pungent odor, then it may be chloride, and if violet color gas is observed, then it may be iodide. So these are some of the methods by which we can determine that the given salt sample, whether what is the cation or anion present in the given salt sample. But that is not confirmative test, these are called preliminative. That test means we can determine by its physical appearance, by the smell or by heating it. Now student, you can see here that, so what I have taught you in the zero group, the group reagent is NaOH, and in first group the group reagent is HCl. If the given salt sample does not react with the two above group reagent, like in the zero group and of the first group, then we will continue it for second group. What is the group reagent there? Passing the H2S in acidic medium. So what we have to do? We have to add H2S in that salt sample. The salt sample what we have taken, we have to add H2S in acidic medium. So if on adding dilute HCl salt solution, no precipitate is formed. There is no precipitate. So what is the dilute HCl? That is in the first group. If it does not give the reaction of the first group, then we will have to pass H2S gas so that we can test it if the salt contains the cations of group second group. So what are the cations present in the second group? This may be copper, cadmium or arsenic. Now student, what we have to do? We have to pass the acidic solution, that is H2S through the salt solution. If you pass H2S through the salt solution, then if it produces black precipitate, it may be copper salt. If yellow PPT is formed, it may be cadmium or arsenic. So what we have to do? We have to perform the group reagent test. So first for zero group, if you add dilute NaOH, no reaction occurs, then zero group is absent. Next, if we will go to first group. If you add dilute HCl, no precipitate is obtained, then first group, the first group basic radicals are absent. Then we have to pass H2S to that salt solution. If black precipitate obtained, it may be copper, or if yellow PPT is obtained, it may be cadmium or arsenic. So copper, cadmium and arsenic is of second group. So student, this is the reaction involved when we add H2S in the given salt sample. If it contains copper, black PPT is obtained, that is copper sulfide is formed. If it reacts with cadmium, it forms cadmium sulfide. If it reacts with arsenic, it forms arsenic sulfide. So copper will give black color and cadmium and arsenic will give yellow color. So this is the reaction involved when group reagent H2S in acidic medium is allowed to pass through the given salt sample. Now we will talk about the conformity test for the group 2 cations. So what are the group 2 cations? Group 2 cations are copper, arsenic and cadmium. So how will you do the conformity test? So what we have to do? We have to collect the black PPT obtained and we have to add 50% HNO3 and dilute H2SO4 and heat it. So what will happen to boil up the black PPT? Now we have to divide the solution into 3 parts, and in the first part we have to add NH4OH. If it appears blue color solution, then it may be copper cation. In the second part we have to add Ki solution. If white PPT is obtained, copper is confirmed. And in the third part what we have to do, we have to add acetic acid and K4FeCl6 solution. So what will happen? Chocolate brown PPT will obtain, and thus we will confirm that the cation present in the given salt sample is copper. So students, this is all about the physical and the chemical test which we have to perform so that we can determine the salt present in the given salt solution. So thus we can confirm the cation present or the basic radical present in the given salt solution. Now we talk about the anion. What is the anion present in the given salt sample? We will just discuss about it. So students, I have discussed earlier that anions can be classified based on their reactivity with sulfuric acid. If it reacts with dilute sulfuric acid, it has been categorized in group 1 acid radical. And if it does not react with dilute sulfuric acid, we have to react it with concentrated sulfuric acid. Then, if it reacts, then the acid radicals are classified as group 2 reagent, group 2 radicals. And if the acid radical given doesn't react with both dilute as well as concentrated, then it is called independent free radical, and it constitutes sulfate, phosphate and chloride. So we have at first one by one we have to test. Now we first test for sulfate. What we have to do? We have to take the salt solution of the given salt sample, and we have to add it to dilute it to aqueous solution of barium chloride. If white precipitate is obtained, it may be sulfate. Now what we have to do? That white PPT is collected and is treated with concentrated HCl. If the precipitate which we have collected does not dissolve, then sulfate is formed. And the reaction, this is the reaction M is metal sulfate plus BaCl will form barium sulfate and plus MgSO. So this is all about the reaction involved if it contains, and thus we have confirmed that what is the salt present? The salt present is copper sulfate. The salt present is copper sulfate. Okay, so this is all about the salt analysis. Okay, student, thank you. Student, you see here, I have been provided with a blue colored salt. You can see the color of the salt. What is the color of the salt? It is blue in color. So the preliminary test we can just talk about. I have told that if the color of the salt is blue, then it may be copper. So what we have to do here? Now we have to take the smell of the salt. We have to add some amount of water in a test tube. And we have to take the smell, if it haven't any smell, so we can say that acetate, sulfide, ammonium, these are absent. Next we have to perform weight test. So we have to test, at first we have to test for the, we have to do the test. Now student will perform the test for cation. You have seen here that as the salt is blue in color, you can say that when you have been given the colored salt, then you are very much confirmed that which is the cation present in the given salt sample. Although we have to perform the experiment for conformity test. So what we have to do? We have to take the salt solution and we have to take the dry salt. We have to add small amount of distilled water. Now see here, now we have to add a small amount of dilute HCl in it. And next we have to add H to this. You see here, student, as black color appears, you see here, what is the color? It is black in color, so we can say that copper may be present. Now what we have to do? Next one, we have to add 50% solution of nitric acid in it. And small amount of dilute H2SO4. Now see here what we have added. We have added small amount of H2S gas, H2S, and we have added 50% solution of HNO3 and dilute H2SO4. Now it has become black in color, so we can say that it contains copper. You see here what now student, you see here what I have done. I have taken some small amount of salt in the test tube. I have added some distilled water, small amount of distilled water in it, and now I have added H2S. Now it appears black in color, so copper may be present. Now what we have to do? We have to add 50% solution of HNO3 and dilute H2SO4. Now we have to heat it. Now student, you see here we have heated it. Now what will happen? we'll just take the colorless part. Now let it to settle. We'll see that the clear solution now will divide into two parts. And we are just transferring the clear solution into other test. We can even perform it. Now see here, the clear solution what we have obtained, it is in this test tube. So what we have to do, we have to just transfer it into, see here, we have to just transfer it into this test tube. So we have two test tubes having clear solution. Now what we have to do? So in this test tube, we will add Ki, potassium iodide added. You see here, student, what we are adding? We are adding Ki. You see here, this is white PPT is obtained, so this copper is confirmed. And in the other test tube, we have to add K4 FeCN whole 6. This is potassium ferrocyanide K4 FeCN whole 6. We'll add. Now we'll see that the color becomes chocolate brown color. So this is again the confirmatory test for copper. Hope this part is over. I think you have understood it. Now we'll perform the anion part, that is acid radical. I will confirm that what is the acid radical present in the given salt sample. Now student, we will test for the anion or the acid radical present in the given salt sample. What we have to do? We have to take the dry salt and we have to add some amount of distilled water. Now you see here, now it is salt solution. Now what we have to do? We have to add barium chloride. You see here, this is barium chloride. What is this? This is barium chloride. We will add barium chloride. We'll just do the test for the acid radical. So what we have to do? We have to take a small amount of salt in a test tube and we have to add distilled water in it. And set it well so that it gets completely dissolved in water. Now see here, this is soluble salt. Now what we have to do? We have to add barium chloride. We have to add barium chloride. So when barium chloride is added in the salt solution, we'll see that white PPT appears. You see here, it has become white. It has become white. The white PPT has started to appear. Now, this white PPT, it tells that it may be sulfate. Now what we have to do? We have to do conformity test for it. We have to add concentrated HCl in it. You see here the precipitate does not dissolve. So we can say that the acid radical present in the given salt sample is sulfate. So from the experiment that we have done, we can conclude that the given salt sample was of copper sulfate. Hope student, it is clear to you.